Women, what are some questions you've always wanted to ask men, but were too embarrassed? Can you feel our boobs when we hug? Reply 1. Yes. Reply 2. Depends on the size, but yeah, for the most part we can. What happens to your balls when you run? Are they just banging around? Do they stick between your thighs? Do they end up tucked? I've been dying to know, thanks. Reply. The nutsack isn't always floppy. It scrunches up or loosens. They don't flop when scrunched. Also, underwear keeps it in place. Is it true you really get random boners? Reply 1. Yes. Distressingly often as a teen, but even later on it happens. Reply 2. I remember my teenage years. Teacher calls on me to write something on the board. My dick. Let's fucking goo. Is your orgasm better with oral or vaginal sex? Reply. Yes. What does an erection feel like? Reply. It depends if it is your penis or not. Y'all are straight up staring at our buttholes while we're doing it doggy style, aren't ya? What happens if there's a hemorrhoid? Reply. Who would look upon the majesty of the Grand Canyon and complain about a misshapen rock or bush? What does it feel like to run with no underwear on? Does it just flop around? Does it hurt? Does the bouncing get you hard? Reply. It kinda flops around. It doesn't hurt and the bouncing doesn't get me hard. Is it true that guys generally hesitate or avoid going up to and talking women that are super attractive? I mean like a 9 or a 10 out of 10. Is attractiveness, appearance something that makes you stall when shooting your shot? Reply. Can't speak for all guys, but what I tell myself. Why the hell would someone like her be interested in someone like me? I'm with someone who buys me flowers to make me smile. What would be something I could do similarly for him that is non-sexual that would brighten his day? Reply. Be the big spoon. Scalp massage. Back rub. Not necessarily a massage, either. Next time y'all are watching TV in bed or on the couch, let him lay his head on your chest or lap, and run your fingers through his hair, or just pet his back like a dog. Even better if he's shirtless and you can lightly scratch his back. May not seem like much, but it makes a big impact on us, even if we may not immediately show it. For me, it slows my mind. Helps me stop thinking for a while and process the here and now so much better. Does what our vaginas look like truly matter to you? Like girls having longer lips and such. I've always felt incredibly self-conscious about guys going down on me even if guys have never mentioned it before. Reply. Vaginas are like pizza. Whatever it looks like it's still going in my mouth. Do pussies generally taste, smell appealing? Reply 1. Good hygiene counts. Reply 2. In my experience, yes. But some of my friends have stories that made me thanking all the gods that are and were for my outstanding luck. How much does height matter in attraction? Reply. Unless she's a giant Amazonian lady, height doesn't factor at all. If she is a giant Amazonian lady, I'm free this weekend. Do you guys wipe your dick after you go pee? Or do you just shake it, assume it's good, then put it back in your pants? Doesn't that leave a little bit of pee in the tip? Why would you do that instead of just taking a bit of toilet paper and dabbing your ween? Edit. I don't mean wiping your dick like you'd wipe your ass. I'm realizing now that wipe was the wrong word, LMFAO. Reply. No matter how much you wiggle and dance, the very last drop goes down your pants. What do you want a woman to say to you if she likes you? In terms of confessing her feelings or expressing interest? Reply. Just say, I really like you, and all is understood. What the fuck do you do with someone's balls during sex? Reply. Be very, very gentle with them. Testicular pain can make you lose an erection, even for people who have that as a fetish. What makes you really like a girl? Reply. If she laughs at my jokes. A cute laugh, smile is a huge plus. When you have to pee and poop at the same time, do you pee standing and then sit or sit for both? Reply. Sit for both. From my significant other, what does my pussy feel like? Reply. In the winter stand around in your house naked. To the point you are uncomfortably cold. Then, pull a huge pile of clothes fresh out of the dryer and climb inside the pile. I've always wondered if they see our bodies as ugly squishy bread rolls the way we think we look while having sex. Reply. Definitely not. How do you see your partner during sex? If it's positive, I imagine it's the same for him to you. Do y'all like making your dicks do that bouncing thing? Reply. Slapping, spinning, bouncing, all of it. My wife pretends to think it's funny at least. Do you ever worry about what your friends think of the attractiveness of your girlfriend, wife? Like, are you ever worried that people you know don't find her good looking or judge you for being with her? This question is obviously coming straight from my insecurities lol. Reply. I actually did have this fear with my last girlfriend. She was a bigger girl and I wasn't really concerned about what they thought, but just didn't want anyone being judgmental toward her. It's hard to explain. I wasn't ashamed of her or anything, just hate the thought of people judging her by her appearance. Are all boobies good boobies? Reply 1. Boobs. Reply 2. The best boobs are boobs I can touch. The second best boobs are boobs I can look at. In a distant third are how big they are. Personally, I love itty bitty titties. I know a lot of guys prefer huge boobs. But all of us prefer all boobs we can touch over all boobs we can't touch. How much does being punched in the balls hurt? Reply. It's bad. Are you turned off by stubble, nether regions? Reply. It depends on whether or not it's abrasive during sex. How often do men want to be hugged? Does it feels clingy, if a girl offers it every now and then? Reply. Cling to me and just never let go. I wouldn't mind. Hugs are great. Do you play with your balls like we play with our tits? Like juggle them and stuff? Or is that too painful? What is the action that actually hurts balls? Is there anything you think it compares to in female anatomy? What does it feel like to get hit accidentally, not kicked purposefully but like, flicked, etc., in the balls? Reply. What hurts the balls is sudden pressure. For example, if I am running away from my neighbor Jim who just caught me shitting in his lawn, my balls are gently slapping against my leg, which does not hurt. However, when Jim catches me and kicks me in the balls, that is a very sudden application of a very high amount of pressure, which hurts quite a lot. A sharp and intense pain that radiates into the lower abdomen. If I had to describe it, it'd be like a super intense and sharp stomach ache. On the balls themselves, you probably know already. Haven't you ever taken a hit to the ovaries or kidney? It's pain to an organ. What makes you want to commit, be exclusive, or get married? Does it have anything to do with your partner or more of, I have to be ready within myself first? Reply. For me it was needing to feel like I had personally matured enough to be committed. I didn't want to commit to someone who was clearly ready to commit to me if I wasn't ready and could somehow end up wasting their time. What are some of your thoughts on girls making the first move? Reply 1. You should try it more often. Reply 2. My first long-term relationship started that way in college. We had hung out and flirted a bunch, culminating in us watching a movie at her apt and her shoving me against a wall when I was about to leave afterward. It was a shock, it was a surprise, and I'll never forget that night so long as I live. Girl nearly half my size just took her shot. Hi, how are you? Reply. Men would be thrilled if a woman initiated a conversation with them. You have zero reason to be embarrassed. This comment section is the most wholesome one I've seen, and it's mostly about dicks. What do you think of fatherhood? Do you think the treatment of fatherhood is fair compared to motherhood? Reply. I never wanted kids because I had a painful childhood. I've got a 3-year-old daughter and she's awesome. I like that she likes a lot of the things I do. I'm a wilderness skills instructor and she knows lots of plants already. If she wants to learn knitting, I'll teach her. If she wants to learn friction fires, I'll teach her that too. My wife and I were expecting a boy, but we lost him. That was fucking awful. We are expecting again and it's a boy. I'm pretty excited for that. A couple of empathetic little badasses running around sounds great. For the first 2 pregnancies I was scared. Now I just trust the universe and that we are a good team. Do y'all enjoy late night chats as much as girls do, or it annoys y'all if it's very often? Reply. Sometimes my wife asks me about something I'm really interested in or passionate about late at night and I have to point out that she is knocking on the door of a 2-hour PowerPoint presentation and she's got work in the morning. Are you as judgmental over our bodies as we are? Reply. Not even remotely close. Women are brutal about that shit. Are y'all okay, emotionally? I know men sometimes have a hard time asking for help. Reply. I am very much not okay, and I have no idea how to fix it. I don't think talking will help. Do guys really appreciate a woman that makes the move? Whether you are newly dating or married for years. Reply. Appreciate? Most of us are desperate for that. Also, I am not sure about the accuracy of this statement, but the relationships where the women made the first move, according to stats, 86% of them ended in marriages. Also, it feels great to be wanted by someone when all your life you have been doing for everyone else. What do you think about C-section scars? I have one and I think it's ugly, it juts out and there's a shelf. I'm otherwise quite fit looking, I'm just self-conscious about it. Reply. I've always thought scars are badass. They're like tattoos except they're earned instead of bought. Any cool character in a fantasy movie has some wild scar and that's how you know that character kicks ass. My wife's C-section scar isn't even big or anything, surgeons were on their game, but even if it was big, it just means she did all the work to make our son. She's that badass character in my movie. Are my boobs too small for you? Reply. Once, a young man asked a wise man, which is better, small or large boobs? The wise man replied, say you have $1 in coins and $1 in bills. Which has more mass? The coins, by far. The young man said. Yet which has the greater value? The wise man asked. The young man was enlightened.